Paige Bueckers, the college sensation, the media darling, the so-called next big thing in women's basketball. But here's the bombshell: fans are calling her rise a complete hoax after WNBA players absolutely destroyed her in head-to-head matchups. And the comparisons to Caitlin Clark? Yeah, they're not even close. So what happened? Why are fans turning on Paige Bueckers? And how did the WNBA expose a player the media tried to hype as the face of the league? Let's break this down. First, you've got to understand the hype. Paige Bueckers came into UConn as one of the most celebrated recruits in years. ESPN, Sports Illustrated, TikTok, everyone crowned her the golden girl of women's basketball. She had the look, the game, the endorsements. Even before Caitlin Clark exploded at Iowa, Paige was being billed as the one who would save women's basketball. The nickname? Paige Bueckers. Yeah, the marketing was in full swing. She had the nil deals, the spotlight, and the media machine calling her the face of the future. But here's the problem. When you get all that hype, you'd better back it up against the best. To understand the backlash, you have to rewind. Paige Bueckers entered UConn in 2020 as the #1 recruit in the nation. Before she even played a game, ESPN was running features. Sports Illustrated was calling her the future of women's basketball. Her nickname? Paige Bueckers. The media machine painted her as an unstoppable scorer, the player who'd carry women's hoops into mainstream culture. And that's where things get messy, because every time Paige matched up against WNBA caliber players, she got exposed. Take the exhibition games. When UConn faced pro-level competition, Bueckers struggled to get her shot off. Her handles looked shaky against elite defenders. And the physicality is not even close. Clips started going viral of WNBA veterans locking her down, stripping the ball, bodying her in the paint. Fans said it looked like varsity versus JV. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark? She was dropping 40 pieces against ranked teams, pulling up from the logo, torching double teams. Against pro-level defenders in USA scrimmages, she still found ways to dominate. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Whenever Paige stepped into matchups with WNBA caliber competition, whether it was exhibitions, scrimmages, or big games against powerhouse programs, things shifted. She wasn't getting clean looks. Her handle, which looked flashy against college guards, suddenly got stripped by faster, stronger pros. The mid-range jumper contested into bricks. And this is where the so-called Paige Bueckers hoax exploded online. Fans started posting side-by-side stats. Caitlin Clark, leading the nation in points and assists. Paige Bueckers, inconsistent numbers, injuries, and quiet games when the spotlight was brightest. On Twitter, the comments went wild. Paige was a media creation. She's good, but she's no Clark. WNBA players are exposing her real quick. And TikTok? Ruthless. Edits of Paige bricking shots with captions like, "This is the face of women's basketball?" While Clark highlights play right after logo threes, dimes, stepbacks, proving who the real superstar is. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark was dropping 40, rewriting records, and single-handedly dragging Iowa to back-to-back NCAA title games. And still, the coverage tried to split the spotlight. Think about this. ESPN and NCAA social channels posted more about Paige Bueckers during some stretches than Caitlin Clark, even when Clark was the one breaking attendance and viewership records. Let's be real. Paige Bueckers is talented. She's crafty. She's skilled. She's got a nice mid-range game. But Caitlin Clark changed the entire sport. Clark isn't just scoring. She's rewriting the record books. She's pulling ratings bigger than the NBA, filling arenas, breaking attendance records. And when she stepped into the WNBA, she immediately took over the conversation. Players, fans, even celebrities couldn't stop talking about Caitlin Clark. That's the problem for Paige Bueckers. No matter what the media said, the eye test and the numbers don't lie. Clark is the real deal. Paige looks like she was propped up by hype. After scrimmages, pros have dropped subtle comments like, "Some players get the hype before they earn it." Others directly praised Caitlin Clark as the one changing the game in ways nobody else has. And it showed in the matchups. When UConn faced South Carolina, LSU, or pro-level defenders, Paige vanished at times. Meanwhile, Clark? She welcomed those games. She thrived in the spotlight. And it's not just fans calling this out, WNBA players have been taking subtle shots too. After UConn games, pros have mentioned how some players get the spotlight without earning it. Others have said Clark has changed the game in ways nobody else has. One WNBA vet even said, Paige has a good college game, but the league? It's a whole different level. And right now, Clark is the only one ready to carry it. Harsh words, but fair. Now, to be fair, Paige has battled injuries. Torn ACL, time away, and it's slowed her development. Fans say, she never got the chance to fully prove herself. But here's the counter. Greatness doesn't wait. Caitlin Clark had pressure, physical play, even dirty fouls, and she still delivered night after night. Paige, the injuries piled up, the hype stayed, but the dominance never came. That's why people are calling her a hoax. Not because she's bad, but because the media put her in the same breath as Clark without the results to match. Caitlin Clark faced constant physical play, hard fouls, double teams, even borderline dirty defense in the WNBA. And guess what? She still delivered. Paige, the injuries stalled her growth. The hype didn't slow down, but the results did. And that's why people call it a hoax. Not because she's bad, but because the media tried to keep her in the same tier as Caitlin Clark when the results just aren't there. So here's the truth. Paige Bueckers is a great college player. But Caitlin Clark? She's a generational superstar. The WNBA exposed the gap. Paige struggled against pros. Clark thrived against pros. Paige's hype was built on potential. Clark's hype is built on results. And that's why the internet is tearing this apart. Because fans hate fake hype. They want the real deal. And right now, the real deal is Caitlin Clark, not Paige Bueckers. So what do you think? Was Paige Bueckers overhyped by the media? Is she really a hoax compared to Caitlin Clark? Or is this just bad timing and injuries holding her back? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you think Caitlin Clark is on a different level. And don't forget to subscribe because the drama between Clark, Bueckers, and the WNBA is only just getting started. Because one thing's clear, the league has found its star. And her name isn't Paige Bueckers. It's Caitlin Clark.